What's going on YouTube, man? Guys, welcome back to another video. And in this video I'm going to be showing you guys two of my personal favorite plugins I use for my guitar. And I'm going to be showing you guys the tones, the settings, the presets that I use on these two plugins. By the way, these two plugins are not sponsored. I'm not sponsoring this video, rather. Sad, but it is what it is, right? I'm just going to show you guys what I use, and I love this plugin so much because two of these plugins are by two of my personal favorite musicians. So stick around to the end of the video, and I hope you learned something, and I hope you like this video as well. So let's get it. So what I need you guys to understand is this. When I'm talking about tone, I'm talking about your voice, I'm talking about your accent as well, right? When you're playing something, you are telling a story, and your story has a voice to it, right? So your tone essentially encapsulates your accent, right, and what you're trying to say, and your voice as well when you're playing the music. So the two plugins I use are Tonality by Andy James and Archetype Plini by NeuroDSP. Now, Andy James is my favorite guitarist of all time. He is undisputed to me, and him along with John Petrucci and Kiko Loureiro really shaped the way I play and approach lead guitar, essentially. And these two plugins have really changed the game for me in how I produce music, how I come up with solos, how I come up with my own songs. Today we're going to be reviewing them. Okay, so without further ado, let's get straight into it. So we'll start with Tonality by Andy James. So when you load up the plugin, the first thing you see is this interface right here. Really aesthetic looking interface, looking metallic with the amp in the middle, and towards the sides the wooden finish. Really nice. It looks really good. And in the amp control section we have the gain, low, mid, high, volume, resonance, and presence. So changing the parameters of each of the knobs here affects how the tone is going to sound. Let's just give it a listen. So that's the first thing we hear when we load up this plugin, right? It's got really nice gain sounds for rhythm guitar. I don't really use it for lead, but if I do, I would tend to play sort of more attack, alternate picking licks, something like this. So below the interface we have the gates, the tuner, the amp select, this window right here, and then we have the pedal, amps, cabinets, and effects. We will just have a brief look at this shortly before we move on to the next thing. So here's the pedals section of the plugin, and these pedals were actually developed by Andy James himself, and of course there's the hardware version of it, but of course we're going with plugins because it's just so easier to use. It makes things a lot better and more compact when we have to move to play, essentially. So here's the amp section, and here are the cabinets, and of course the effects. So this plugin comes with a lot of factory presets and sounds. We'll just go through a couple of my favorite. The first one is definitely one of my favorite, and let's check out this amp too as well. If you want to play fast shredding licks, it also sounds really good because of the reverb elements to this amp here. Here's how it sounds. This plugin has a preset called Arrival Lead Tone. Now, Arrival is the name of an album that Andy James released, I think in 2018. Really amazing album. if you're really into instrumental, go ahead and check it out. You would really enjoy it. So here's how it sounds. Now, the next plugin I will show you guys is called Archetype Plini by NeuroDSP. NeuroDSP as a company has to be one of the best, if not the best, software plugin production company for guitar, subsequently bass and other instruments, right? They've done really well in sort of creating a simulated version of amps. And guys, the way they really focused on the impulse response of how a person should sound and would sound when they play the instrument is just out of this world. It's just out of this world. Now, a lot of people actually call this plugin, Archetype Plini by NeuroDSP, the most complete guitar plugin. And I think it's no misnomer, right? It's really, really amazing. And I will show you guys right now. So when you first open the plugin, this is the interface that you see. Just so beautiful, so sleek, and so aesthetic. Like, this is really, really good. They really went out of their way to just capture the vibe of this plugin. There's a lot of things going on here, and I will just break it down gradually as we progress. So this interface is the first thing you see, and it's called default. This is the default interface. And funny enough, this default interface has the best lead tone I've ever used in my life. Well, just for me anyways, the lead tone is amazing. I use this default for all my lead, and I layer it with a couple other sounds and just do a little bit of effects and tweaking. But essentially, most of my lead tone comes from this. So let's quickly have a rundown of what's going on in this interface before we go ahead to start playing and checking out the sounds. At the bottom here, we can see 4 different buttons. These symbols here, they represent different things about how the tone should be. For instance, if you click on this, it gives you the acoustic simulator, right? This simulator here recreates a sort of acoustic guitar. This environment right here is for the piezo simulator, right? Piezo as in Piezo. Funny enough, I used to call it piezo when I was studying engineering in university, and because we actually worked with a lot of piezoelectric sensors and transducers and stuff, but let's not get too sidetracked here. If we come here, this is sort of the clean tone we get from this amp. Guys, this aesthetics is just so beautiful, guys. They really did their job, you know. It really encapsulates, it really just gives you the vibe of what you want, you know. It's really good. It's really good. I don't have words for this. Like, sometimes I just open the plugin and I'm just looking at this. Really. So this is the clean tone section, the clean amps essentially. This right here is usually for the more heavy rhythm stuff. Really sounds good. Really, really does sound good. And it looks good as well. And we're back to the default here. If you look at the top of the interface, you see a lot of knobs, actually. The inputs, the gates, the transpose. Now, this transpose is really interesting because you rarely see guitar plugins having transpose. It's not really done. It's not common at all, right? Here we have the mono and the stereo, so you can switch from mono to stereo when you're playing. Also, we have a tuner here and the output. So let's go ahead and check out the default tone. Guys, remember I said this default tone has been used by me numerous times for my lead tones. So I don't really play rhythm with this tone. This is how the lead sounds. And of course, I hope you remember this. There's a lot going on in this plugin, and I can't really talk about this plugin to the entire depth because I'm just gonna talk and talk and talk. So I'm just gonna show you guys 3 of my favorite presets as well. I got more, but I just want to show you guys this ones. It really sounds good to me. So check it out. This is the first one right here. Anyways guys, I hope you stuck around till the end of this video, because this is the end of the video apparently, because I don't want to talk and talk and talk like I said. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you learned something. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and share. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.